Mr. Obsfeld is a parent of ours and what they call a ghostwriter for books. Let's welcome Mr. Obsfeld.
Good morning, students. Isn't it nice to be out of class? All right, we'll try to drag this out as long as possible. Okay, yes, I co-write books with Kareem, and I know the first question you probably want to know is, what's it like to work with me? No, that's not your first question. I am also a parent of a student here as well, and my son went here, and now my daughter Harper goes here as well. So that's, and there she is in the back waving her hand. It's such a challenge to have a shy daughter like that. Let me say a little bit about what Kareem and I do. This is the book that we've just published. It's called Sasquatch in the Paint. And it's for middle school students to read. And it's about Kareem's life, basically growing up, but we modernize it so it takes place now. And it's a lot about the struggles that he went through when he grew to be as tall as me. So it was a problem for him. So I know you don't want to hear from me as much, so I'm going to go straight to bring Kareem out, and he can tell you about the book and how it affected his life. Kareem?
Good morning, everyone. How's everybody? That's great. It's good to be here with you, and I too want to thank my good friend Harper Obsfeld for inviting me and her dad here. This is our second trip here, and we always enjoy talking to you guys. My book is about growing up and the problems that you go through when you have some of the issues to deal with that I had to deal with. I had a tremendous growth spurt. I know that's hard for you to believe, but it's true. When I was between the 7th and 9th grade, I grew about 10 inches. Wow. Yeah, that's what I said too. And it was difficult at times. My body hurt all the time. My knees and my lower back used to hurt because your bones grow faster than your tendons and ligaments. So your ligaments and tendons are trying to catch up, and they got to stretch further than they can stretch. And that makes you hurt a little bit. So I had to deal with that, and I was very awkward. And people thought that, geez, you're 6'6", you should be able to play basketball now in the NBA. And that definitely was not the case. I did not have any skills. I sat on the bench, and it was tough for me. But I stuck with it, and I got better. So the book is all about some of the things that I went through, you know, just trying to figure out how I was going to balance everybody's expectations that they had of me athletically with the expectations that my parents had of me academically, because they wanted me to do well in school. And I was an honor roll student from the 5th grade all the way into high school. I was a pretty good student. So I had to balance all of that. And it took some learning, and I had to fail a couple of times before I got it all together. But in the book, the main character, Theo, he talks about that. And also, Theo's dad in the book was a police officer. And my dad was a police officer. So just the whole issue of discipline and doing the right thing and not letting your stupid friends tell you to do stupid things and you do that. That's something that we all have to watch out for, okay? So it was like that when I was growing up, and it hasn't changed a bit. Some of you guys do have stupid friends. That's what my kids told me anyways. I want you guys to pay attention, you know, to what your parents and all the people that your guidance counselors and teachers tell you, and don't listen to your stupid friends. And those of you who want to pursue athletics, I want to encourage you, because athletics are great, but don't let the academics slide to the point where you don't get to go to high school and college and do good things in high school and college. I hope there's a whole lot of you guys here that end up in college so that you can come back and do great things for your community. So that's kind of a capsule of what the book is about and what the issues are in the book. There's a whole lot of focus on just how kids interact. You know, there are kids that their cultural background might be very different from yours, but all of a sudden you end up all in the same place and you have to learn about each other. And I remember this school has just a really wonderful rainbow of various ethnicities that comprise the student body. So when you're sitting in an assembly like this, you have people from all different types of cultures that you get to interact with. And that should be something that enriches your life. It should not be something that's a problem for you. So I hope that's the case here. So that's more or less what the book is about. It's called Sasquatch in the Paint. The reason that I named the guy Sasquatch had to do with the fact that when I was growing up and I started to stick out like that, people had names for me, and they weren't always very flattering. And I was lucky that none of them stuck. But you know, being called Shorty and Long Drink of Water and Long Tall Sally, it went on and on. I've forgotten most of it, fortunately. But these things happen. So you're going to get teased, and sometimes people are going to try to bully you. Sometimes the helicopter comes by and you can't be heard. I think that was about all those parking tickets that I didn't pay. But no, there are a lot of things that you'll encounter as you guys go through this part of your life. So I hope that my book enables you to see that the things that you're going through happen to all kids your age. And you're not unique. So try to deal with it. Listen to the people that you trust, that advise you. And if you do that, you're going to make it. And Raymond and I have time to answer some questions. If you guys have questions that you want to ask us, Raymond and I are going to try and answer those. Okay, Harper, where are you? Why don't you come on up and join us?
If we have, you need to raise your hand, and teachers down the row, if there's a student that has a question, Mr. Downey will be over here, and we need to form a line. Only if you have questions.
What's going on, sweetie? How you feeling?
Teachers, if you can.
Hey, you can stand over here. Good.
All right, they're coming around. Mr. Downey, they're waiting. They're going to have the, come on up here. Yeah.
This way, first.
All right.
Have you... Oh, I'm Preston Frank.
How you doing, Preston?
Have you written any other books?
I've written about 8 other books. And only one of them is a children's book. So this is my second effort at children and young adults. And it's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it.
We should point out, too, that this is the first book in a series, so we've already completed the second book, and that will be out next year with the same characters in it. So, yeah, we've got a whole line more of dealing with these same kids.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My name is Sherman. How many points did you score in the NBA? Do you know?
I do know. I scored 38,387 points.
My name is Mariah. How tall were you when you were in 6th grade?
When I started the 6th grade, I was about 6 feet tall. And when I started 9th grade, I was 6'10". So there you go. Yes.
My name is Brown. Was there anything that was hard for you to do because you're so tall?
He asked if there's anything that was hard for me to do because I was so tall. Well, it was hard for me to find clothes that fit, especially the clothes that I wanted. You know, all my friends were wearing the latest in fashions, and all the clothes that I could get a hold of that fit me were for old adults. Not even young adults, they were old adults. And I hated it, but that's how I had to dress. Yeah, so I had a tough time, but I got through that.
But there's another thing that happened. We went to Disneyland one time. I don't know if you remember this. It was a few years ago. And there were several of us, and we went up to Space Mountain, and all of us were up there with Kareem, and Kareem was too tall to actually get into the ride and had to walk all the way down while the rest of us did the ride. So there's some disadvantages as well. Although he did get us to the front of the line. So.
Yes.
My name is Joshua Rodriguez, and when did all the teasing stop?
Well, I was very fortunate. You know, I told you about my dad being a cop. My dad also used to box. So my dad taught me how to box when I was still in grade school. So nobody really wanted to test me because I was a lot taller than they were, and my jab was really good. So I didn't get teased too much. But you know, early on I got, some of the older kids would try to bully me because I was the same height and size as they were, but I was like 2 or 3 years younger. So they would pick on me because, you know, I was not aggressive. And I just tried to be friendly with everybody, and they kind of saw that as weakness. And they tried to pick on me. But after a few lessons with my dad, all of that stopped. There was one kid named Thomas Macy. We had a really serious fight, and he didn't do too good in that fight. So after that, everything was all right. Yes.
My name is Stephen Hansen, and how was it like working with Magic Johnson and all of the big NBA stars?
Well, you know, when you get to play with really great players, it makes your job easy.
Yeah.
So by, you know, playing with people like Magic, who was so good at what he did, he made my job easy, and I made his job easy. So it's really wonderful to work with people who know what they're doing and want to accomplish something. That's how you get things done, through teamwork and working together. And the Lakers were a wonderful bunch of guys. Magic, James Worthy, Byron Scott, Michael Cooper, Jamal Wilkes, all those guys, they were wonderful guys to play with and good friends. And it was a great experience. Okay, we're going to do 2 more questions. These are the last 2. Yes.
Hi, I'm Isaiah Estrada, and he stole my question, so when did you start playing basketball?
I started playing basketball, organized basketball, in the 4th grade. And I was no good. I just rode the bench. I rode the bench from 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. 7th grade, they started letting me play a lot. 8th grade, I was pretty good. 9th grade, I made All-City in New York City, which was pretty good. I made the 3rd team. And then 10th grade, I was 1st team All-America. And I made All-America every year I was in school after that.
How many rings do you have?
How many rings? Jesus. I have at least 25 rings.
Like NBA championship.
I have 8 NBA championship rings, 6 as a player, 2 as a coach. I want to thank all of you for your questions. You guys paid attention really good. And I don't know, what are we going to do now? Is that it? Harpy, do you have a question?
No, but I just want to say that it's really cool to know you.
Well, it's really cool to know you, Harpy. And thank you for that vote of confidence. I hope what I said gets through to you guys. I want to see all of you guys going to college and doing good things after you get out of college for your community. That's something that you should focus on right now. And good things will happen if you start thinking about that right now. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdul Jabbar.
If I need a friend, would you take my hand? Would you turn away? Or would you take a stand? Would you leave me out? Or would you let me stay? 'Cause it's what you do, and it's what you say. It starts with one voice breaking through, and before you know, a crowd will grow and stand along with you. Share the song. Power of one, strength to be brave. Stand up to wrong. There's a life you can save. It starts with one voice that opens the gate. We just make the choice. And on the hand, power of one. If you always judge only what you see, then you'll never know that there's more to me. If you let me in, I could play your part. Put away your doubts and open up your heart. And it's the easiest to turn around and run. And the night is always darkest just before the rising sun. Share the world and share the sun. Power of one, strength to be brave. Stand up to wrong. There's a life you can save. It starts with one voice that opens the gate. We just make the choice. We can end all the hate. Power of one that refuses to wait. Power of one. If we let fear and doubt always shut people out,
Then the healing will never begin.
And we'll never
Never get the chance to let love in.